How's it going? My name is James P. White. That is Chris Mooney. This is the Bald and Short of It podcast. This is our first podcast of 2026, and it is episode 28. We're going to go through some New Year's stuff, and there's a lot of big stuff going on in the world right now that we need to touch on, and some nerd stuff as well. Which is very
Oh,
important
nice.
in my life. Yes, and then we got Chris Mooney. How's it going, big guy? I haven't seen you in since New Year's.
Yeah, like literally a week. It's been a week. I was thinking about that today. Uh, I'm not saying I was going through withdrawal, but it was nice to see you when we logged on here. How you been?
You did invite me out, but I was having stomach issues. We can get into that, and I think I know why it was. But
Well, let's I think like earlier episodes we haven't even talked about this. But like earlier episodes, we tended to talk too much about our last week. It's like, guess what,
yeah,
guys? No one cares that much. We might, but
yeah,
highlights. So. Yeah, and so instead, it's like we should do brief highlights. First of all, what are you drinking?
nudes. So they're vodka soda. They're 100 calories, and either that or else I have vodka and water or vodka and soda I drink. I haven't touched a beer or a pop in a week.
Awesome. I got
So,
actually I just finished the Tabor corn bourbon you
oh,
got me.
oh, the one I gave you for
Yeah,
for Christmas.
the last of it's here. Um, it was awesome. Thank you again. The one that you got, that was like I got the choice of two, and for I don't know, I wouldn't. I knew I liked this, but you had the one that had more liquor in it. Was that right?
Yeah, it had a higher uh alcohol content.
Yeah, because this is like
It,
90 proof, man. Like you can tell when you taste it. It's a little
and
stronger.
I killed that bottle.
Oh,
Actually I had two,
mhm.
and I have one left.
Did you notice it when you take your first sip? It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it does have a strong kick to it. And I drink it straight. I don't mix.
Oh boy. I would have to mix that. Like I don't mix with anything but ice, but still, like it takes a little bit of the bite off, like um another question I had for you based on last episodes. You must have tried the Frank's Red Hot gummies
As a matter of fact, the bag is still sitting here next to my computer desk. I haven't cracked them yet.
unopened.
It's unopened. I haven't
Oh,
cracked them yet.
I want to do
Because
it. I want to do it with you. I want to do a taste test with you.
yeah, because I haven't cracked them yet. It's just the problem is I had them by my computer desk when
Showed
we
us.
did the
Yeah,
podcast,
that time
when
you
I
came back
showed
from
you.
Costco, yeah.
And then I didn't put them in with the rest of my snacks. So when I go to grab a snack or something, um, they're not over there because so I keep forgetting that I have them. So they're just sitting by my computer desk.
And now you're out of time because you're on your diet kick.
I know. Might
You
have to
should you,
wait 3 months.
you should just give them to me. Then again, I might not like them. I
But you
keep
have
thinking about what I
you
keep
you
thinking about what I said.
you you have kids. Uh,
Yeah, no. So I have to tell you one funny story about this week. Um, Mutual friend of the podcast, Marco. Um, he joined us at Q last Friday. That had been January 2nd, I think, and we had a really good time. Johnny and Marco and I missed you. Friend of the podcast, Johnny.
which one
Uh,
is the Q?
it's
Is that
that's
the one by
I don't think you ever been there. The last time that we talked about it, Johnny and I had gone with Marco, and we were talking about how awesome it was, and we're like, next time we go, you should definitely come. And you're like, yeah, it sounds awesome. But I think that's the cigar bar.
Oh, is that the one by River Cree? Yes, I've been there. We watched the game there.
Oh, that's right. We were in the yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we were. We were in like kind of the patio,
Yeah, the
but
kind of
it's totally
greenhouse type.
covered in like the,
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, I
Anyway,
have been there.
we um my sister lives really nearby, and she said, "Why don't you guys come by after?" And because it's by the Cree, and it's kind of far from where I live, I thought, okay, well, we'll go after. And I was texting my sister on the way to the bathroom, and
As you do.
yeah, and I was about to say, "Is it okay if Marco comes?" Because I said Johnny and me. I said Marco will probably drive us. I was about to say hit send, and then I called her and I said, "I'm about to ask you if it's okay if Marco comes. Can you reply back? No, I don't like him. He's a dick." Or whatever, and I could show him on my phone because it looks like totally organic that way, right? And she's like, "Oh, well, can I say what I want?" I'm like, "You got license, do what you want." She's like, "No way, not Marco, not after what he did to me, uh, the last time, and I don't think I could stand being around him. So you and Johnny are welcome, but not Marco." And so so it wasn't long before I got that reply from her. And then I'm sitting next to Marco at the bar and I showed it to him. And I'm like, "Do you know what's up with this?" And it looks like I'm asking him if it's okay. And she's going, "I can't stand the guy, forget about it," and all that. And then he's like, he looks like he's such a nice guy. And he looks so hurt. Like, no, I don't like what he's trying to think. So I put my phone to what I think is record. So like I took the screen where you can see the two of yous and I'm like this. And I'm sitting beside him and I'm going, yeah, yeah. And I think I'm filming it, and he's just forlorn. He's like, "I don't know what I did," and he's kind of going down a little bit of a shame spiral. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's that I joked around about her dog. Like, and he's like, I know I was polite. I don't, and I'm like, so then I look at him and I go, did you touch my sister?
Oh, you dick.
And then he's like, no, no. the whole time the whole time I don't know how he didn't get it, because he's like facing, like we're both facing the screen, and like I'm holding my phone like this, and I don't know how he's not noticing that I'm recording. And I couldn't take it anymore because he felt so bad. And I said, "I'm just kidding," like I told her, and he goes, "You son of a bitch." And then I get my phone and I hit, how you do that, you hit the thing that flips it around and you look at the screen and you see yourself. I did all that shit, but I didn't hit record. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is like the best gag," and I fucking didn't record it. But good enough for
And
Marco. That was actually, I felt so bad after. It was kind of mean, but it was fucking hilarious.
so are you and Marco still friends? Like, has he blocked you from your contact list?
Yeah, well, we ended up going to Andrea's, my sister's, with Johnny and Marco, and we're sitting out back there, um and you know how it is. They got enough digs at me to more than make up for it by the end of the night. So, but we did miss
Uh,
you. So next time we go, I'll let you know. So what was going on with your stomach and all that?
I think because I've made such drastic changes to my diet, like I've been trying to cut back on carbs. I been eating mostly meat and vegetables. I've just been like it's starting to equalize now, but my crapper was a little off.
So like, you know how I've heard this before from people who go on a cleanse, and then they're like, "Oh yeah," like, and then I don't know if it's when they come off it and eat something or when they go on it, but there's like a big
There,
gastrointestinal.
I've had that. I've had that before where, like on previous diets that I've done. Um, that, it's been like that where I just, oh, excuse me, you're off for a couple of days, but yeah, it's starting to equalize out.
So you're good now though,
Yes.
and the hair's looking
I,
great.
yeah, less lesbian.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying it looks good.
Just wait. I'm making one more change to it coming soon to a theater near you. Um,
Got the nice tuft there, and it's kind of a wedge still. I like it. I like it a lot,
you
Jeff.
know, you know, you know, a guy who has no hair shouldn't be critical of people that do.
I was waiting for you to get on
Just
that.
saying.
Even saying
Just
that, I'm like,
saying.
where do I get the balls? Like,
To make fun of my hairdo you haven't had when you haven't had hair since you were 10.
I live in a glass house surrounded by a glass yard and a glass sidewalk, so I don't really have the right.
Okay, so we got a
That's a
lot going
handsome
on.
haircut, though.
We got a lot going on this week. This episode, I want to get right into it. I have nothing really to talk about for my week. Glad to hear it.
No, we're good.
Let's talk about our New Year's resolutions. Uh, I'll go first because we kind of hit on it. Is I want to lose 15 pounds by March 1st. So I haven't had a beer. I haven't had a pop, uh, in a week. I haven't had fast food. I've been trying less carbs, mostly protein and vegetables. Um, and, and that's my big one. And so I can't have, but I'm drinking nudes, which are less calories, vodka soda, and I have vodka and I just like mix vodka soda or vodka water, whatever. So I've, the only thing of my resolutions I haven't done so far, I haven't kind of got to that because again, with my gut issues, I haven't done the 5 minutes a day workout, which is part of my resolutions, but I'm just getting into the whole thing of
Yeah.
sticking to my diet first and then my body equalize out. Cause I went to do like actually the day that you asked me to go out, I was doing crunches and
I
my,
don't know if I want to hear
my,
this.
my stomach went a little weird and I just about crapped my pants. So I had to run to the bathroom.
Shark crunches
Crunches. Yeah, I caught it in time.
or your
'Cause
short stint, one of the two.
as soon as my gut started gurgling, I'm like, oh, okay, let's go.
Mission critical.
There, there was no accident on the floor.
So let me ask you this. Um, how are you like have you noticed? I mean, it's been 6 days. First of all, like carbs are the killer. Like, um, there's these wraps you can get at Costco. They're like keto wraps. And I kind of like I basically if I have a hot dog, I use those. If I have like a hamburger, I use those. We always think if we have a steak, we should have potato or whatever, but you don't need it. Like, you get used to that. It's good. But um I want to like I said, like have you noticed that you feel better or more energy or lighter or
As
less bloated?
not not really as of yet. Like it's just like as I said, I'm just getting started. My guts are just starting to equalize out. Like the first couple days, I felt like a bag of hammered shit. Like, but it's like I do maybe not feel better, but I feel like I'm accomplishing something because I am doing that.
Yeah,
Like that, like instead of rice, do quinoa, which
yeah.
is which is better for you. I, I'm okay with doing without potatoes. I usually a meat guy anyway. Like, but the fast food thing, they're like call it like fries. Fries is my big thing. Burgers and fries is something that I
And that's a kill.
do at least
That's the worst.
do, and which I normally do a couple times a week,
Yeah,
and so I don't do that anymore.
good. You'll notice that pretty
But
quick.
yeah, like I'm not even craving it.
Yeah, sometimes it's
But
just a matter of habit.
yeah, but
Sorry,
other than that,
I,
my what's
sorry,
that?
I had to turn on the oven. I forgot. Sorry.
Uh, but my other resolution, it's resolution goal. I don't know what it is. I need to find a full time job by February 1st.
Hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's my resolutions, goals, whatever. Uh, what about you? Do you have any?
Yeah, working out every day. Um,
How has that gone for? Have
I,
you started that?
I'm half and half since the first. We're at the sixth. I've done it 3 times. Um,
That's
yeah,
that's a good start.
like I'm dedicated to not letting myself off the hook because I used to do it every day, and then like you fall out of it, um, and it's not that hard. It's just a matter of putting your shoes on and going downstairs. But um, the thing that I've read and that a person should be careful about is like when you go, um, I have to do this by this date. And then if it doesn't happen, like a lot of those things you can't control. It's not like I have to go run around the block or something. Like it's a goal that you can achieve. It's achievable, and the only person you can blame if you don't do it is you. But like something like, um, and even like the losing weight, if you do everything necessary to lose weight and you don't lose, say, 15 pounds or whatever you said by March 1st, um, that's only 2 months, man. And good for you if you do it. But if you lose 10, like you hate to be in that position where you feel like you're a failure just because you didn't do it by that date, if you know what I mean. So like
Yeah,
it's kind of like if you go, instead of saying I need to do this by this date, you hold yourself to account. I need to do 3 things every day, Monday through Friday, that propel me further towards getting a full-time job, for example.
but yeah, but the thing is with that date is I've done it before. I like a couple years ago I did this challenge when I was on the radio station, and I lost 20 pounds in 3 months.
Well, that's awesome. And listen, I'm not here to discourage you at all. All I'm saying is that all of the things that are necessary for those goals to be achieved are within your control. And if you don't achieve the goal per se, the worst thing you could do is feel like you're a failure or something because you're still doing all the right things.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
It's just it's in doing that, you create habits. It's just a matter of like what happened the last time I lost weight. I gained all these habits to keep to lose the weight. But then as soon as I lost the weight,
Mission
I
accomplished.
got, I got, I got rid of some of those habits and which is not necessarily a good thing.
No. Um, no, that's good though. The other thing that soft, a soft goal or a soft resolution was to curse less on the show. Because when we did our last one, you were talking about saying "mafo" and stuff, and I know you spent time with your mom, and I hate to think if your mom decided that or you showed her how she could listen to the cast or something, and then you got this drunken sailor next to you saying "f this" and "mafo" that and "cs" that,
Yeah.
and
And like, yeah, I don't normally swear around my mom, normally, but like she does to a point, but there's words that's like the C word never is ever been said in our house.
well, I like to think that I bring it out in you though. Like hopefully I infuriate you
Yeah,
enough to like I give you an
you
excuse.
actually, you're actually a reason why I swear. Usually I'm swearing at you.
There's a funny story with Andrea. Like her mom's, I don't want to mischaracterize anybody, but her mom's not a fan of poor language either. And you remember Brett and Max all those guys I did my MBA with. Like,
Yeah, that
yeah,
I met at the gig that where
yeah,
I was
you know, like,
security.
yeah, you know them. Anyways, um, there was a phase there where I really enjoyed the hard consonants. I'm gonna curse here, so fair warning. the hard the hard consonant cocksucker. It just sounds like such a great curse word because it's got all those hard consonants. And I went through a phase where I was saying it all the time. Like, like Andrew would be making dinner or something. I'm like, what are you doing up in this cocksucker? Way overusing it, using it when you don't need to, getting into that habit of doing that by accident. And one like not long after that, Andrea was driving her mom to Costco or something, and she's driving, and somebody cut her off like bad, and she's like cocksucker, and her mom's like, "Yeah."
Hey,
She didn't
I
even know she
I'll
was saying it.
I'll teach you an alternative to cocksucker. Just yell ball cock.
Yeah, well,
That's not
yeah,
a s-
no, I got out of the habit.
that's a plumbing term. I'm just saying, like
Okay.
so you can get away with it.
Anyway, so much for my resolution about not swearing. I went to a three
Yeah.
minute
So
story about cocksucker.
yeah. So so that resolution is over. All right. So that's your resolutions. Let's briefly drop. Last year I was looking it up, and a lot of people passed away. But some of the people that passed away, I thought they were already dead. Like there's, you know how you find out that someone passed away and you go, they're still
Yeah,
alive. I'm like, there's like 50 people on this list. I'm just gonna, just uh throw Joe Eli. He's from a band. I can't remember which one it was. He died in December at 78. Gil
the
Gerard.
guitar guy. Hang on.
Yeah.
Uh, I know there's lots, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, but Steve the Colonel Cropper. That wasn't that long ago. Steve Cropper. We'll get to it, but
Okay.
that's one that yeah, big impact. I mean, Robert Redford. There's a whole bunch, but Gil Gerard. We talked
Gil
about Buck
Gerard.
Rogers. Yeah,
Rob Reiner. We talked about it on the podcast. Uh, he was murdered by his son, Sally Kirkland. Uh, who else? Ace Frehley from Kiss. Diane Keaton. When I saw that, I'm like, I didn't even know she passed away. Jane Goodall. You might not know her, but you remember the Apes in the Mist or the
Gorillas in
Sigourney
the
Weaver
Mist.
movie,
Gorillas in the Mist.
Gorillas in the Mist. That was based on Jane Goodall, and that
I
was
know.
a Sigourney Weaver. I thought she had passed away, but no, she passed away in October at the age of 91.
Yeah,
Robert
she's a
Redford,
cultural
and
icon. You'd be surprised,
yeah,
Jane Goodall, like the work she's done with primates. That's like her life's
yes.
work, and she gained a lot of notoriety for that even before the movie.
Robert Redford back in September, Graham Greene. We've got Terrence Stamp. We talked about him on the podcast. Hulk Hogan. We talked about Ozzy, obviously. Uh, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Julian McMahon. He's been in a bunch of stuff, Nip and Tuck, and he was in, FBI Most Wanted, which is a show I watch. Michael Madsen. I didn't realize he passed away.
Michael
You know
Madsen,
him.
I think, yeah, I think I
That,
remember that, but holy cow, I love him. Like every movie that he was in, he was cool. Like every
yes, he
movie.
was every movie. Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys,
Yeah.
Hot Lips Houlihan, Loretta Swit, George Wendt, Val Kilmer. Everybody knows about Val Kilmer. Richard Chamberlain, George Foreman, Gene Hackman. Those are the ones I have on my list. Did I miss anyone that?
Steve Cropper. So
Yep.
uh, one of my one of my bucket list items is to go to the Stax Museum in Memphis, Tennessee. I was 3 hours away with Johnny in Nashville, but I never made it there. Um, I'm a fan of that soul music, and we're talking about very late 50s, early 60s, up to like the early 70s. And Stax Records was a record shop on Beale Street, if I recall. And they were a record shop, and then above they set up a studio, and that's where. And Steve Cropper was just a guy who worked at the record store, and that's where all the him and his musician buddies used to hang out. And it was white guys and black guys. Like Steve Cropper's a white dude. Like you might remember him and Duck Dunn from um, Blues Brothers.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, like they were part of the Booker T and the MGs. So they were the original Booker T and the MGs, and all of those songs that you like. He's played and produced and written so many songs that it would blow your mind. But he had a Telecaster, and he had a very distinct sound, and he's definitely a musical, um, uh, like idol of mine. Someone that I try to emulate. Um, an example is like the song by Sam and Dave, Soul Man. Uh,
Yeah.
I won't sing it for you, but there's a part in the song
Yeah,
where there's a
don't.
little bit of a slide. It goes boom, 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 boom. I'm a soul man, and it's like boom, 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 boom. Um, that's actually a cigarette lighter. He was playing on it, and he just gets a cigarette lighter and he just does it along the neck. Um, and A sad story, like Booker T and the MGs were the house band for Stax, the record label, and they worked with all of the Stax artists as the in-house band, and they recorded with Otis Redding, and um, they uh, they wrote a lot of his songs. And sitting by the dock of the bay, um, they recorded before he went on the trip that he died in the plane crash. Otis Redding, and they actually and Steve Cropper wrote it. Um, sitting on the dock of the bay, like they wrote all that. And they he it was so hard for them, but they had to release the track. They produced it, mixed it, mastered it, and they released it after he died. And I think that was his only number one, Otis Redding. But um, just a marvelous time for music, particularly soul music. It was soul, but it had its own unique sound. And Steve Cropper was the architect of all of that. So rest in peace, Steve Cropper. That's who
Uh,
you missed.
okay, that's who I missed. I'm so sorry.
No, you
You know,
can't. You
it's
can.
another, it's
I'll,
another one I missed, and very important person when it comes to radio. Um, Lonnie Anderson,
oh yeah.
WKRP. Yeah, she passed away at the age of 80.
It's funny when we talk about people that pass away, and maybe it's a perspective you get when you're older. Um, but I mean, um, when a guy like Rob Reiner or even Ace Frehley goes, um, you feel like they had more to give, or there was more for them to accomplish, and there was no illness, or like I think Ace Frehley fell or something. Um, and Rob Reiner, obviously, we know the unfortunate circumstances surrounding his death, but those are ones where you're just like it makes you just a little sadder than when you hear like say Brigitte Bardot, she died last week. She was 91, and you're kind of
And,
like the older I get, I'm like, hey,
and, and,
that's a pretty good target to
and,
reach.
but, and when they pass away in their sleep is a whole lot different than when you're murdered or like
Yeah, yeah.
but, but even at that, we talked about celebrities that passed away and stuff like that. And we were going to keep this short, but your Stafford thing, was, like 6 minutes long. Um,
Well, you know what? And that wasn't enough to give tribute to Steve Cropper. And
oh, no, I know.
there's an HBO documentary on Stax that I recommend you all watch because it's very enlightening. And if you don't have the time, next time you stream any music, look up Stax, STAX, or Sam and Dave, or Wilson Pickett, or Otis Redding. I mean, the list goes on. Staple
Oh,
singers, Eddie Floyd. I mean,
I
Isaac
I
Hayes,
I I know Otis Redding.
Book, Booker T
Um,
and the MGs.
yes, I've
Anyway,
heard of them. I used to work at a radio station that played blues music.
all right.
Cruise
Anyway,
Blues was played every night
I'm
on when I
sorry.
used
I'm
to work there.
sorry. I'm sorry for
But
taking up so much of your precious time.
yeah, I know. It's something that I have to deal with this rendition of the Bald and Short of It podcast, which was also one of my resolutions to, you know, have a second rendition of the Bald and Short of It podcast with a different bald guy. But um, and I've got a few on the list.
Talks are ongoing.
Talks are ongoing for sure. Yes. So let's get into. You know what? This is something that I threw in here, and you probably have no idea what it meant. Upcoming events. Uh, this is kind of important to me. This is the reason why I wanted to throw this in here, is because I've got a lot of stuff coming up in the new year. One of which is like one of the most important things that I do as a little person, as a person in general. Pink Shirt Day, which is this year is February 25th. It's a Wednesday. It's always the last Wednesday of February, and I'm trying to it's a live stream I do, and I also do go to schools and talk to kids about bullying, but it's all about bullying. I have an MC so far. I'm working on a couple of charities that I've dealt with in the past, dealing with Pink Shirt Day or bullying, and that is happening in February. So as I said, February 25th, and um, and then St. Patrick's Day, March 14th, I have an event. I can't give details because I don't think I'm supposed to. But then March 17th, is St. Patty's Day, and I'm booked. And other than that, that's upcoming things. I, and I believe we are planning on going to Vegas in March.
Yeah,
We were talking about that, weren't we?
yeah. I mean, it might end up being a thing where you can't go. To be honest, um, like because
Then I'll just
I
go
don't.
without you. No.
Yeah, no.
But
You might
I'll
have
go at a different
more
time and
fun.
just find new friends.
You
Um,
might have more fun, to be honest with you. But no, because you have the. This is where it gets tricky because I was talking to our fellow Chinese travel companion and friend of the podcast, Johnny. Um, uh, he um he wants to see Thoroughgood, and he comes right after St. Patrick's Day, like on the 19th or something. And but the Sammy Hagar shows, which is the principal reason why we're going. Um, the Sammy Hagar shows are like right after that too. Um, yeah, Best of All Worlds tour. So I don't know. We're gonna have to shoehorn that in. Yeah, March 18th, March 20th, and March 21st. So I don't know, man. We'll
20th
figure
and
it out.
21st, 20th and 21st work for me. It's after St. Patty's Day. It's the
Yeah, I know, I
St.
know.
Patty's Day is the 17th.
I think I know Johnny wants to see Thorogood at the River Cree, but um,
And when's Thorogood?
well, look it up. Like
Well,
you're the
what am I,
producer, so you're the
your
producer.
fucking secretary?
You're the producer on the talents. We talked about this many times.
Dude, I have more
Look it up.
talent in
Look it
my
up.
left. I have
Look it
more
up.
talent in my left foot than you do in your entire body.
Look it
Like,
up.
I am looking it up. Calm down, bitch. There goes the no swearing for 2026.
Mission fucking accomplished. Like What
The
do I got to
Thurgood's
do?
okay, Thurgood's the 19th.
Yeah.
So
See.
but I was just looking. The Sammy Hagar stuff is later in the 20th. He's going all the way to the 21st,
Yes, the
and
20th and 21st
he's coming back in September.
September. I know. I know.
So calm down.
We usually go in August for my birthday, like every year. So I mean, I'm not going to argue against a trip to Vegas, but I think that March one's a good one. And if friend of the podcast Johnny has to forego George Thorogood, and I'm pretty sure you'll be listening to this, Johnny.
Uh,
It's a tough call,
but
buddy,
you
but I'm going to Vegas.
but you realize that George Thorogood comes to Edmonton at least once a year.
What I'm saying, and that's what I said to him. Like I agree with you.
I've interviewed him on the radio.
Yeah, the Delaware Destroyer, George Thorogood. Um,
He's a total
I
dick.
I've seen him a bunch of times too, and he's great. Let me let me mention this too. April 30th, Brad Williams coming to Edmonton.
Oh yes, that's on our list of stuff that we have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, the funny little person.
yeah, and
What's that? April 30th.
yeah, it's April 30th. I know for a fact it is, but I wanted to mention too that uh, Brad Williams, funny Brad,
Oh, he is so
Heightened
funny.
Babel. So I think he's got a new podcast out. Um, I'm just
Like
gonna.
he's funny.
I know the
I'm funny
guy's
too.
hilarious.
I'm funny too, but he has me. He outdoes me.
No, well, don't say it. Oh yeah, here it is. It just came out like today. Um, I follow him on X, so he mentioned it. It's like, yeah, 1 hour, 4 minutes. Um, it's called Heightened Babel. So anybody listening, you can stop listening to us now and just go to Heightened Babel. You'll probably have you'll probably laugh more because my ability to entertain is somewhat hindered by having to carry this guy. So I'm like Luke and Dagobah, where I've got you in on my backpack.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody that listens to this podcast goes, you know what? We understand why uh Mooney thinks that he carries the podcast. He does a lot of drugs.
Anyway, if you get a chance, check him out. You too, Jimmy. Every time I see Brad Williams on a podcast, um, like I laugh my ass off because he's got a good sense of humor. He's pretty funny. I saw a clip from the new one today, and the one thing I noticed, and it was only like 5 minutes, but the guy that he's hosting with, like he was telling a 2 minute story and it ended up being 5 minutes because the guy kept interrupting him. I don't know what that's about, but you have to listen to the whole episode.
but he is funny, and it's just it's funny though. Like we've talked about him on the pod before. The
Yeah.
thing I like about him is, and I say it all the time, he steals my jokes because he's very situational comedy. He is. He talks about being a little person. If you don't know, Brad Williams is a little person. I don't know if we really got into that. And
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, someone was phoning me. That's
Go
never
on.
happened on this. So, like, he's very situational comedy. And he tells stories, and he's been through some of the same stuff I have, like deep snow. Like when Mooney is complaining, oh, the snow is higher than my boots. Well, the snow is in my frickin' underwear. What are you complaining about? Like,
Yeah.
like when oh, it's up to my knees. Yes. Like, in when we get a lot of snow, I carry a snorkel in my backpack just in case I fall in the snow. Like,
Hang on a sec. I think I can share now. I think we can share now with this Rumble app. Can you see anything?
I see it on the bottom of the screen,
Oh, okay. So well, I don't know. Let me check.
but I don't know how that's gonna.
Oh yeah, whatever. That's Brad Williams anyway. For anybody who's interested. Um, oh yeah. Well, you
Uh,
can though, and so that's helpful to know. Um,
but you know what? There is a thing that I call editing in
yeah,
videos, and a prime example. I could do this. Okay, at 44 minutes and 44 seconds.
yeah. We
Uh,
for
Brad Williams picture.
for our longtime listeners and friends of the podcast, uh, we don't edit that much, and I don't know why Jimmy's lifting the veil on that. That's a little bit unprofessional, to be honest with you. Like,
No, no,
weren't you
but
in radio? Like, I know I'm
the
the talent, but weren't you in radio? Like,
but you realize that we've done this every podcast where we talk about something and you want to see a picture of it, we can
mhm.
throw it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And we are doing it at 44 minutes and
Well,
44 seconds.
when you do the editing or whatever, like, check and see how it appears, because that's the first time that I recall that we never really try it because you're not sure how it's going to come across. So it'll be interesting to see how that does. Um,
I will look it up. Um,
yeah. Anyway, is there a way that we could get him on here, like to promote his thing, like 5 minute bit? That, like, I mean, you're the guy that knows people.
I, I don't know. I, no, I don't think I can. Like I can reach out to a couple of people and see
Yeah,
if
yeah. You don't have to
it,
go into details or whatever, but then that's something we could talk about offline. But
like
that might be a nice little
I have a
segment.
friend at the Cree that I might be able to get a contact for his agent or something. But
Hmm.
dude, we're a bullshit podcast in the lines of he does radio spots. He doesn't do podcast spots. But we
Well,
could try. But
everyone does podcast spots now, and I'm just saying,
but
in the spirit
but
of like
we're
old radio, like old radio, which is pretty much what it is now, and like no one really listens to it. Like Rick Nielsen, for example, like you interviewed him uh, for Cruise, but they were promoting something. And it's like people are always promoting something. It's just that now they go on podcasts. Like when I see a guy on Rogan, like
but
nine
but
times out of 10,
Rogan
nine
is a
times out of
different
10,
caliber podcast.
obviously, I'm not talking about the type of podcast. The fact is, it's still a podcast. And like, I mean, I like doing it. We talk about things we enjoy. It seems like a pretty respectable handful of people like listening to us. So I'm not going to cut my own throat and go, I'm not worth having this guy on. I feel like we are, and it's like, I mean, can you imagine how much fun the two of you can have coming after me? Or,
But
and then I look at it the other way and it's like, as long as I aim low enough, I can get both of you.
but see the thing is though is our listenership is my friends and my cousin. No,
Yeah, you'd be
and
surprised.
no, but and by the way, I was saying it would. I said my friends because they don't like you much, and even though Johnny says he likes you, but no,
Yeah, like that's,
he listens for me.
Johnny says he likes me, but that's what a round will buy you.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, so yes, we will
I'm
be
just
going
saying,
to
I
that
think that
show.
that would be, in my opinion, I think that obviously there would be some synergy between the two of you, like even just with the stolen joke bit or whatever. But I'm pretty sure the man can spare 5 or 10 minutes. You know, it's worth
Yeah,
looking into, in my opinion. But we can talk about that offline.
yes,
But we're
and I
definitely
have
going to the show.
and if I have a say will get meet and greets.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I mean, I just want to see him. He's great. If anybody who doesn't know
I
who Brad
actually,
Williams
I
is,
actually, I actually want to meet him to see if he's taller or shorter than me. Like he talks about being 4 foot. Like, is he 4 foot even or like, so
I think he has a different kind of like. There's different hydroplasia thing in the other one, and like what I've
see,
learned is that
don't start explaining dwarfism, please. Like, you're going to give me a
like
headache.
I'm
Uh,
dwarf explaining.
I think he has a different type of dwarfism than you do. Okay, what type does he have,
I don't know.
Mooney?
I don't know. I was. It was more a question than like an expression of knowledge. Like
Like,
and
from what
like
I
listen.
see, he looks Akon. Yes, he has achondroplasia, the same I do.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, but anyway, the point is for those of you who are listening that don't know who Brad Williams is, the guy's hilarious. I've been following him for a long time. Saw him at New York when he was like warming up Mad Apple when they had it there. I think they still do have it there. Um, and he has a new podcast, like I mentioned, um, called Heightened Babble. And if you actually want to see a stand up bit, he's got a YouTube thing called Starfish. Been out there a while, but it's hilarious. And if you want to check out Brad Williams, before you buy tickets to the show on April 30th, which we'll both be attending, check it out on YouTube, Starfish, Brad Williams.
So now that we're done promoting another midget, when
And
we're
another
on a midget
podcast.
podcast, like add another podcast,
Yeah,
let's
keep
change
talking.
let's change gears. Uh, okay, actually, because he's at the River Cree, they're like the band Nazareth, which we saw at the River Cree. They have announced that they are replacing the singer. He has quit, and so they've got a new singer. So, because they were hinting at the show that that was going to be their last tour, but they've replaced the singer, so that might change.
Yeah,
So,
I don't understand how that works. I saw that in the prep, and I'm like, what?
yeah, so the bassist announced that Carl Sentence, is the current singer is left, and they are getting a new singer, Gianni Pont- Pontillo. Don't know, but you know what? It was a great show, and I was glad that we got to see it with the majority of the original members. Uh, it
Actually, there's like
again, it was
there's yeah, go on.
and it was at the River Cree. They treat us like uh,
Gold,
if you haven't been to a River Cree show, you need to go because they
100%.
have everybody. And actually, the show you were just promoting for 10 minutes, the Brad Williams is at the River Cree. So yeah, it's a really cool venue. They had to make some changes with some stuff in, since they first opened, but it's cool venue. They got you can get booze from any direction,
Yeah,
and
and it's not just that. It's not expensive either. Like last
no.
time we were there, I think was for that Nazareth thing, and we sat at the bar, and you get treated like gold over there by everybody. But uh, there's no shortage of things to do, and the food options are usually very reasonable. Um, Tap
And
25, like everything's
they
half
have so many
price.
restaurants and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tap
it's
25, I think
great.
everything's half price before five, and the generous happy hours, and even when it's not, um, things are pretty cheap. So I highly recommend anybody checks it out if they haven't.
Yeah, I love the Creek. Uh, and yes, so they have replaced the singer. I kind of hope that they the singer does the band justice, but we enjoyed the show.
It was great, and you know it's funny. Like Nazareth, that shit is not easy to sing. Like Starlight,
No.
Star Bright. Like I mean, that's not. And um, maybe
And you're hearing this from a professional singer,
yeah,
uh,
exactly. Like I'm
who
obviously the being the talent. Like I've like you have to look at my portfolio, but you know,
like,
um,
in order to hear his singing and enjoy it, you have to be drunk, but it's still, he sings.
no, I wonder if that whole this is our last tour. They weren't talking to the audience, just the singer. So like they, you know, they packed up their bags at the end of the tour. Everybody said their goodbyes. He moved back home to Podunk. and then and then in the new year, Nazareth goes, "Hey, guess what? We got a new singer." He's like, "Fuckers." That's one way to
okay.
do it.
That's one way to do it. And you know what? Staying on the task of talking about how great of a singer Mooney is, let's get
No, we don't.
into Rosie Off White is now Tears. Is that what it's called? It's
Yeah, like what?
CHIR.
IERS, IERS.
Yes,
That was that came across. I was briefed
it's a
on it by my
karaoke bar.
to quote Ma'am Danny in New York. Um, my team briefed me on this today. Um, um, uh, if you open it up, it's called like Cheers Bar and Grill, I think, but it's spelt like C I.
IER.
Yeah,
CHIERS. I know
yeah.
exactly where that Rosie's is. I've been there.
Well, no,
Eh,
that's why I mentioned it because honestly, I got a lot of memories of that place because I mean, it's been around for the article says um 30 odd years, 35 years. It's been an institution. And they characterized it really well in the article. Um where, like they mentioned that it was kind of an institution. And one of the guys who was a regular said, you're having a good time out there and it's like 11 or whatever and you just kind of go there to close out the night. Or I mean, every time I went there, especially on the weekend, it was like just fun. um and yeah, it's going to be called Cheers Pub and Grill, CHIERS. And a couple Korean fellas bought it, and but they're still leaning hard into the karaoke. And I'm
Karaoke
excited.
7 day, karaoke 7 days a week.
Yeah, and I've been going there. I hate to say it, for probably close to 30 years, to be honest with you, because I mean, we're talking about when I was going to university, and I run into people now, like at Sherbrooke and stuff, that I don't remember, and they're like, "Hey, hey Mooney," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Hey, Rosie's," and I'm like, "Oh yeah." So it really has been an institution, and they plan to continue with the karaoke theme ish. Um, and so we will that put that on our list for 2026, Jimmy.
Of places to go
Mhm.
for for sure. And
And before you move on, like Rosie's, uh, I got a lot of memories of that place. Like we've been there with Lovis and stuff, and like at least you and me. But before that, like all kinds of people I've been there with, and I always had a good time there. And it was definitely, especially as the years wore on, it became kind of like a almost an old time saloony type place. Um, and I wish I'd gone there before it closed. Just before, because you go back, but it's not going to be the same. It's like when you're a kid and you drive by the house that you used to live in. There's new people living there. Everything's different. Sure, they redecorated. None of the neighbors are the same. But when you go to an old place before they close it, it still looks like that place where you had those memories 20 odd years ago. So I kind of miss not having gone there before they remodeled or whatever. But
yeah, yeah,
put it on the list.
it's on the list. So 2026 has had a lot of shit go on, I guess you can say. There's been a lot of stuff that happening. We have the stuff going on in Iran and the fact that uh, the Trump government, the U.S. has picked up Maduro from Venezuela, and he's being tried for all kinds of crimes. It's been a year, like it's already, and you know what?
6 days in.
6 days in, but it's a great start. But the thing is, though, is I have to say, and people are gonna hate me for this, but I don't care. Like in the past, I haven't been a Trump supporter very much. I don't know why. I just, whatever. But what he did with Venezuela and grabbing Maduro, good on him. Like he took action. He wasn't just talking. He actually did something. And that means a lot. But doing it and pulling the guy out and, getting a democratic government in place is what his goal is, which is actually a good thing. Like, I don't care if you hate Trump, this isn't a reason to hate him. Like this, in my opinion, I think this is a good step in the direction. What do you think?
Oh, like, listen, um, anytime, anytime you give people more power, is a good thing. I mean, every geopolitical situation is different. Venezuela is different from Iran, for example, and Iran's another one. But Iran, it seems to be at least that it's largely organic, um, where the people have finally had enough, and it's kind of like we're all in, man. Like I don't care what they do to me. I'm locked in. Um, with Maduro and Venezuela, like there's literally like a country like Canada became Venezuela within 20 years. And it was a the classic. It's just like Iran, actually, the classic social democrat. Cuba, Iran, like we're talking Iran 79, Cuba 59, where they tell all these people we can make your lives better, and then when they get power, they take everything away and go, we're collectivists. you know, we're just going to control the means of production and take the wealth, and everybody chips in, right? Um, so anytime that the people have more power, I'm a happy guy. Um, but the one thing that people need to remember, about the Maduro arrest is that, like, uh, Joe Biden was like, Joe Biden's government. So the government before Trump came in were the ones that leveled the indictment, or filed the indictment against Maduro. And um, there was an old tweet that Biden put out. Um, he goes, "Trump speaks tough." This is 2020, um, and it goes. Biden says Trump speaks tough regarding Venezuela, yet he holds admiration for thugs and dictators like Nicolas Maduro. As president, I will stand with the Venezuelan people and for democracy. That was Joe Biden. Uh, so, like in 2020. I don't like someone else might have written it. I don't know. Like, I mean, they'll take whatever side, you know, pushes polarization. But like as early as 5 years ago, everybody in the United States thought that this dictatorious thug should be removed, particularly after he ignored the elections of last year. And now that he's been and I don't want to bore anybody with um, too much talk about how swift and effective the strike was. It was like basically an extraction, and the only people that died were the ones that were like his security. That's it. There was no war. There were no civilian casualties. This wasn't Iraq. This wasn't Afghanistan. This was a targeted strike, and I mean the swiftness with which it occurred is like remarkable. I don't want to go there too much, but the idea simply is that you had a self-proclaimed head of state, which was basically a dictator because he lost the election. People were killing zoo animals to eat. Um, and look it up. I don't want to get into it, but that this should be a thing in a society where we share common values, where we go, hey, at least we can all agree on this, you know. And it surprises me that some people don't agree with that as all.
Yeah, like, dude, like it's actually cool that this is happening, and that actually, like you were talking with the Iran with their protests, and the Iranian government killing some of the protesters is because I saw an article about that. And then Trump's like, yeah, like, yeah, like,
Yeah, the I've been monitored. Like I my team has briefed me, like Ma'am Danny. Like, my team has briefed me on the uprisings in Iran, and I think
I'm your team.
yeah. No, uh just that this I think a lot more attention should be paid to what's going on in Iran, because I don't think that there was a CIA special op going on there, or a cultural infiltration op by the CIA there, like in years past, like they did in Libya, for example, when they extracted Gaddafi. This is more very much organic, or even '79 with the Shah when they deposed him. That was an Islamist led, um, or like a socialist slash Islamist led, like uh, influence operation where they co-opted like students and leftists who were the first people they killed after they assumed power. Like the what Stalin called the useful idiots. What I see in Iran right now, and it's been like pretty much since the second, and today's the sixth, is an organic uprising of people that go, you know what? We've known that we all agree for perhaps decades, but certainly like years, and everyone just poking their head out and going, let's fucking go, let's go. And I know that the Iranians are flying in their folks from Hezbollah and even maybe Hamas, I don't know, but they've flown in terrorist guys that they've armed to help buttress the security forces there. And I know, like in towns like Hamadan in Iran, like the police force are actually siding with the people. And a revolution, that's when a revolution really happens, is when those that are supposed to guard the king side with the people. And like, to me, um, they should make statues of whoever is like risking life and limb to um, change theirs and their fellow citizens' ways of life. Like I think that's so admirable and good for all of them, particularly the paid thugs that put their arms down and go, you know what? I'm on the side of righteousness. I'm on the side of waking up in the morning and liking what I see, as opposed to like doing what, you know, the imam
Yeah,
slash
it's
dictator tells me.
the 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 thing is how I look at it is he's taking action like Trump is, like, and he actually said, you know, if I have to intervene, I will. Like, like people should not be killed for speaking up.
Yeah.
And the
eh,
Maduro thing, but that's also pushing our Western values on countries that have always had a dictator and stuff in place as well.
Well, like Caracas, Venezuela, like in the '70s, was like the Paris of South America. Like people would visit there. I mean, they've always been oil rich, but it's kind of like they need freedom to unleash all that, like a free economy, like at the end of the day, it's like, I heard it said this week, you can either be um, equal without freedom or free without equality, meaning that somebody's going to control the means of production. And I'm willing to accept that it's not going to be me because, like, for example, if Alberta, gained independence, which I sincerely hope for in 2026, um, I know that I'm not, and we need refineries so that what we export isn't heavy crude, but actually refined oil. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know enough. And that's another reason why I know I'm not going to control the means of production, but also as an entrepreneur, I might be rewarded more for my efforts, at the very least, in being taxed less. We're not all going to be equal. Somebody's got to organize people. Somebody's got to invent things. Somebody's got to run the companies that take care of their employees. And some people got to be the employees. But at least in those situations, if you're an employee or if you're a manager or whatever, you're going to be more richly compensated because the government's got out of the way, in my opinion. And we don't have to go any further than that if
Yep.
you don't want.
Yeah, let's not. Um, but you know what? There's another Canada US thing I want to just touch on before and I don't totally disagree with this. Is the Canadians traveling to the US
Yeah.
will be photographed upon entry of the US and exit. I don't disagree with that. Like, and it's supposed to start in Boxing Day. It's already started. So it's an older article back, before Boxing Day. I don't disagree. Like, I think that's a good idea. You?
Well, yeah, like that article that you're referring to, like I checked it out too, and that was like City News. Um, it was, and they basically like co-opted the Canadian Press article and whatever. But frankly, any government, like, you ever been to China? I've been to China. Like, you got to apply for your visa like the months before you go, and when you go, like, it's like that they got the eye on you, right? Like, you're walking around with the eye. It is what it is. Um, and you know what? I can't even complain. I mean, it's their country, it's their culture, it's their right. Whether I like it or not, I don't have to go. So I got to accept that. Having said that, I was kind of surprised because it's the U.S. and we're from Canada. We're neighbors. Um, Last time I went to the States, I was going to Vegas, and when you go through customs ish in Vegas, there's a lot of people that could get you through or whatnot, and they ask you to look at the camera, and I said no, and they're like, okay. So basically, um, like if you say no, you're not in the database. Um, Now the database to which they refer, they can retain the personal data for up to 75 years. Um, I said no just because I don't really
A
like people
debt.
have my picture anyway. No, I read an article
Dude, you
before
have
I.
a fucking podcast. You're on
Oh yeah,
YouTube.
exactly.
Your
It's not
picture
hard to
is
know.
everywhere.
Yeah, like, and I
You have
represent
a
my
Facebook
business.
account. You have 4 friends on Facebook. Like,
No, but hang on. Here's my point. It's a matter of principle. If the government wants to take my picture and I have the right to say no because I don't like big government, I'm like, no. And they're like, okay, no problem. Show me your
but,
passport, blah blah
but
blah, and no problem.
that's probably going to change. It
Yeah,
has
and you know what?
changed.
I'm like, okay, don't go to the States. I mean, I took a vaccine because I wanted to go to Vegas, and that was my choice. I can't say that I was coerced. I want to go to Vegas. They want to take my picture next time. I'm not going to have a tantrum. I'm not going to say no. Maybe I'll try it, but if they're going to go, sir, you have to, then I'll go, okay. Like, if you having my picture and recording my
I'd,
business, I
I'd love for you to say no. And then the rest of us go into Vegas and you're in a holding cell waiting to go back to Canada. Um,
and I'm like, I took a vaccine. The last thing I'm going to complain about is to take my picture, and I'm not a troublemaker. But again, like, people go, oh well, um, like, oh, they're going to take my picture, or they're biometrics or whatever. So the idea that, like, a government has the right to self-determination and like actually like prevent you from going in, whether it's because you won't let them take your picture or because you're coming in on a boat without identification and want to be housed in a hotel. Like at the end of the day, it's the government's right to choose either way. So, like I have no problem with that. They have every right to ask me. And if my entering into their country is predicated on taking my picture for posterity, um, fill your boots. Like I'm okay with that. Would I say the same if I was going to China? Eh, I suppose I kind of did already, but it's not like I'm going back. So I mean, I think these articles about, oh, they're going to ask you to do this. I think sometimes they want you to go travel to Vegas from by Canadians or travel to the World Juniors in Minnesota by Canadians has gone down, and they'll say because they want a photo ID. Bullshit. Travel by Canadians anywhere has gone down because we have no money. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm okay with you leaving it at that. But also in that article that they also will have the option to ask you for your fingerprints,
Yeah, yeah, and
which
it says that.
which I'm still okay with. Which I'm still okay with. It's like because they're trying to keep like if they have whatever and run your criminal record. If you have a criminal record, I wouldn't let you in. Like just
Like
saying. Um,
it all comes down to like luckily I guess choice, but it's kind of like I like I said, I took a vaccine that I didn't want to take because I want to go to Vegas, and I had fun. It was a good trip, and I didn't have anything to hide and whatever. I didn't realize what I was in for, and I didn't necessarily want to do it, but I wanted to go to Vegas more. So, do I want the U.S. government having my picture? Probably not. But if it's a requirement for me to go with you and Johnny and have a good time in Vegas, I got nothing to hide. Forget about it. Like I'm going. It's my choice. It's my choice. It's called liberty. You can choose to enter or not. So no problem with that.
no, and you know what? And but I was reading further on in that article. Part of their reason is to make sure that the fingerprints match the passport because
Yeah.
of terrorists and all this.
Oh, and that,
You
and
know,
oh, if it's that, then I'm more than okay with that. Like if you're
like
taking my fingerprints to make sure um that some guy who subscribes to a different philosophy than me, to put it mildly, is using the name Chris Mooney and shaving his head and like um then let's go because I mean that helps me too. You're actually protecting me.
and you know what? I totally agree, and I would never protest this. I would never say anything bad about it. It's it's a good in my opinion, it's a good idea.
And
So
by
I
the
have
way, like sorry, by the way too, like for any of you that are listening or that are somewhat engaged in this, like just look up Palantir, Palantir. Like they're a company that's on like invest in them actually. Take my word for it. They're working with the US government on contracts that like we're talking about AI supported facial recognition technology. It's like you don't need to consent to anything. You walk out of a 7-Eleven and with your digital footprint and all that, forget about it.
but
Good
so we have two last things that I want to talk about. First of all, you put this
notes.
in the notes. The jig is up or the gig is up. What's up with that? See how I use the up? Okay.
Like
I can be funny, okay?
so fucking pleased with yourself.
I
You know
am.
what? if you wanna walk away from this being pleased with yourself, like take it down to the wood. Don't walk around with the lesbian Elvis haircut.
Oh, just wait. It's getting better. I'm doing a change tomorrow and it's not being cut.
I'm actually looking forward to it. We definitely have to hang out this week.
Okay.
Actually,
So
we'll talk about it after. But anyway, uh, jig or gig? The gig is up. Is it the gig
it's
is up?
jig. It's jig.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Because I actually looked it up. The correct phrase is the jig is up,
So did I.
which means which means that a secret plan or deception is over. So you
Yeah,
tried to trick me, but you didn't.
I didn't. I
Gig
didn't try to.
is
I didn't try to trick you.
no,
I'm.
no,
I
no, no, but that's actually the definition. I wasn't saying you were. I'm saying so the jig is up, which means a secret plan or deception is has been discovered. I've got
yeah
the definition right here. Whereas gig is just it's an incorrect uh, use of
yeah.
the
It's
same thing.
sometimes those things make their way into the vernacular. Some guy hears it and it's like kind of playing telephone. Someone says the jig is up, and then blah blah blah, like playing telephone.
But
Um,
but why did you put that in? Like, did you
I'm
have
glad
a?
you asked because you know I read a lot. Like I think last time I saw you, I've read at least two books. By the way, I'm finishing like book two of the Thursday Murder Club. Highly recommend that. They were on Netflix. The first book, Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan. It's actually a series on Netflix. But I
I
just finished.
I watched Castle, so
Yeah, well, I'm reading it from the library, so uh, my because I have a whole bunch of other books on the go. I don't gotta buy anything, but I'm finishing book two right now, and it's insane. It's really good. I'm not sure it was that book or some other book I read since we last talked, but somebody in the book said the gig is up. I don't know if it was the author characterizing like that character isn't that bright, so he says gig or whatever. But it occurred to me that maybe like maybe I'm wrong. So I checked it out, made sure I was right, and then put it in the notes just in case you were wrong. Turns out we're both right,
I'm
so fuck it.
it's always been jig.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, too. Um, by the way, the book that I'm pages away from being done. It's called The Man Who Died Twice. So if you're fans of uh, Thursday Murder Club, that was on Netflix. I don't know the name of the first book. I already read it. Um, that's the shitty thing about doing it in the library. Um, uh, is it's not near like I do everything on it on my like libraries, like on my phone or on my tablet. So it's not like you have a bookshelf where you can go back. Oh, that's the first. What anyway? Um, Whatever the title of the first book by Richard Osman, on which Thursday Murder Club is based, this is the second one, and it's called The Man Who Died Twice.
I feel better about myself. Thank you. Um, so so the whole question was because you saw the gig is up in a book. So stop reading and you won't mess up our podcast anymore. Um,
I've resolved myself to like whenever I see something like that where it's either a J or a G or because it happens with common expressions, I'm making a point of adding it to our notes. It might not happen every episode, but there's going to be Ricky-isms, to like Trailer Park Boys, where a guy goes jalapeno instead of jalapeno. Like, keep an eye out for that, motherfucker.
yeah, jalapeno sounds more like a drug. Um, Just saying. Uh, Last thing I want to touch on is 2026 is going to be a huge year for Star Wars. I know you're not a sci-fi fan. You don't like that crap, but I have lightsabers and samurai swords behind me. My life is either lightsabers or samurai swords. Um, but so Mandalorian and Grogu is supposed to be coming out in May, and but
Hang on.
they have
Is that a
just
movie? A movie or a series?
it's gonna be a movie
We're
because
going to that. I love both.
they they haven't done they haven't done like a movie on the big screen since I think it was 2019 with the uh the Last Jedi. No, The Rise of Skywalker. That was the last movie they've done. Everything since then has been on on Disney Plus. And
Okay, hang on. Stop talking. Can I put my hand
okay,
up? So
no,
Rise of,
uh, really, if I knew getting you to stop talking was to raise my hand and you'd actually stop talking, you know how short this podcast would be. Um,
it's already short, Jimmy.
yeah, two and a half men. Uh,
1.5.
Two and a half. Have
Um,
you seen your size? Okay, sorry, that
so
was rude. Um,
is Rise of Skywalker like episode 9?
yes,
Okay, that's all. And the other thing is, um, Grogu and Mandalorian, which friend of the podcast, Ruben Kufeld referred me to, that got me back into the Disney thing. So that's going to be a movie, and that's going to be the first time that an actual series has graduated to the movie side, right?
yes.
And Andrew and I and you, at the very least, probably Boobs too, will go see that when it comes out in the theater. Like, 'cause I would like to see it. I would
It's
see that.
it's dude. It's May 22nd is when it's supposed to hit the theater.
Yep. It's a week before I go to
And
Vegas, so
I thought we were going to Vegas in March.
I go with other people too.
Oh, for the love of God, you're hard to deal with. Um, but yes,
Looking at
so
that haircut,
that's
I don't know about the deal with part, but definitely hard.
dude. Why are you making fun? Again, a guy with no hair makes fun of a guy with great hair. Like, come on, get over yourself, you bald bitch. But
Anyway, go on.
yes, so so that's the big thing that's happening this year with Star Wars, as well as the release of season 2 of Ahsoka on Disney Plus, and an animated series with uh, called Maul Shadow Lord, which I'm excited about. It's an animated one. Again, I have personal problems, but I digress. And so, man, one of the first movies to come out in theaters since The Rise of Skywalker is The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm excited. I've seen trailers. If you want a breakdown of the trailer, I can give it to you. I've actually analyzed every second of it. Uh, I have no life, but I digress. And
I don't think you do. Like, anybody that's listening to this, which I highly doubt, but if you're listening to this and you haven't checked out Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and
you
like
need to.
let's pretend you've never watched Star Wars, and this is actually a reason why, like, uh, one of Jimmy's fellow Star Wars nerds, like Boobs, said, "No, Mooney, you got to check out like the Disney stuff." And I'm like, "I don't watch cartoons. Fuck off." He goes, "No, watch Mandalorian," and it was really good.
Like
And since
Mandalorian season 1. Okay, sorry, I had to interrupt you there. Mandalorian season 1, you wouldn't have known. Like if you had never watched Star Wars and you watched that one, you would have been intrigued. You wouldn't have had any clue
That's my point.
of
Yeah,
like it was a totally different storyline. And then they started mixing in like with the other Mandalorians and uh,
but
the
like,
Night of a Thousand Tears and
and it wasn't it John Favreau did that Mandalorian.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway, the storytelling
He's
is
still
like
big in it.
storytelling is sick as fuck, and like we love it. I mean, we've watched other like live action, not childish cartoon series on Disney. It's like you know, like I was saying earlier on the podcast with the Boba Fett. But Mandalorian is kind of the gold standard, and it's a good thing that they kind of like take it from the farm team and elevate it to the pros and make a movie of it. And like I don't
Oh,
normally go to movies. I'm still like I love F1, but I think I can now watch it for free on Apple, so I will. And but this one, we should make a night of it, Jimmy. Don't they have like the theaters where you can go get a drink and sit back and like,
they do. And
yeah,
they also have theaters where they have waiters and waitresses
yeah,
that'll bring shit to you.
yeah, like so, like I know how much you love, and like you and Boobs are tight. I know how much like Booby loves like Star Wars. You love it. When that comes out, well, and Andrea loves Mandalorian. Like she's like, when's it coming out again? Like, so we're gonna make a night of it. That'll be fun.
As long as I don't have to sit next to you, I'm good. I'll sit next to Boobs.
Yeah, like no worries about that. Whether you're sitting beside Boobs or Andrea, you'll be sitting next to Boobs,
But
and I'm happy to
uh,
sit on either side of that.
that sounds like. And the best thing is we're talking about Boobs, which his real name is Ruben. He like we for listeners that are first time listeners, us calling him Boobs is we weren't talking about a woman.
Like Ruben,
Just saying.
Ruben has been called. I've known Ruben almost 30 years. He's a brother in Deke. He's a friend of ours, friend of the podcast, and he's been called all kinds of things. Boob, boobs, booby, boobins, bobbins, bibbins. But I settled on boobs. You know,
And
great guy, fellow cinephile like Jimmy, but you know, with the leaning towards the Star Wars, what do they call it, universe or whatever. All you Disney people, wasn't there a thing on Disney about that you had in the notes about Disney?
I'm not a Disney fan. I'm a Star Wars fan.
But like, let me
It's
check. You
yeah,
said,
let's not.
and oh, you did. Oh, you deleted all of it. Okay, fair folks.
Yeah. I d- oh shit, I keep forgetting that we usually highlight. Um,
No, wasn't there a thing where like the Star Wars universe? Well, Disney owns it anyway, so they're not like.
yeah.
Can you explain that to anybody, or are you fine with not doing that?
What, sorry, what am I doing?
In our notes, I took it to read that the Star Wars universe, quote unquote, was distancing itself from Disney or Disney Plus.
No, Disney Plus. So they're doing, so they have two like two movies coming out in the next year. So one's coming out in May and the next one, probably like the sequel to the Rise of Skywalker is supposed to be coming out December, maybe January of next year. So
They're
they're doing less Disney Plus and they're going to start going back to, big screen is basically the gist of the notes. I just
yep.
added them all
Okay.
back.
I'm glad you explained it. That's all. That's good. Um, so I like that idea. I like the idea, like I said, of like if you have like a series and compelling characters like Grogu and the Mandalorian, like with like principles and like where the audience they'll follow. You have good characters, the audience will follow them anywhere.
Yeah.
And you write good stories, they're gonna follow those characters through the stories. They're like locked in. And that's basically Star Wars from the jump, right? In '77.
77. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
I was three.
yeah. But Disney
Actually,
owns Star
technically I was two when, Star Wars came out because it came out in May.
but Disney owns Lucasfilm. And it's
Hmm.
just all they're saying is Netflix to show movies in the theater before they put it on the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like The
Because
Irishman.
because they've never done a movie direct to Disney Plus. It's only been series. So they're focusing more on movies, but they're still doing some series. Some are animated and, but the majority of their live action stuff is going to be on in the theater going forward.
Yeah, good.
And on a different note, this was the Bald and Short of It podcast. This is our first podcast of the year. It's episode 28. And I am Jimmy. That is Mooney. We're, we're friends, I guess.
Listen, now, no. Listen, like, how do you think it went? I had a really good time with you tonight.
No, it was a good podcast. But this is the Bald and Short of It. See you next time.